Hello everyone, I am Third Mario Brother and welcome to Let's Play Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards for the Nintendo 64. This is one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games and it was very definitive for a lot of people. Anyway, if you want to know the plot of this game, it's very simple and has basically already been explained in the cutscenes that were showed earlier. The dark matter has come back from Kirby's Dream Land 2 and 3, I believe, and well, it attacked this little fairy girl, Ribbon. And Kirby, being the good Samaritan that he is, has decided to help her when she randomly finds him and has broken her crystal that she needs to put back together. Anyway, this, as any Kirby game, you can copy enemies' powers by sucking them up and eating them. Yay, that's not gruesome at all, is it? No, we're teaching the kids all the great stuff. In this game, it's unique because you can combine powers. In fact, I combined fire and needle here. You combine powers by either eating an enemy and then spitting them out, well, like putting them in your mouth and then spitting them out like that, or eating an enemy and then bringing the power back out like that and throwing it at them. Right there, I got rid of that since we already saw that power, and that means, because of the way the power system works in this game, there are a lot of powers to be used. For example, right here is the sword, fire sword, I guess, which is actually one of my favorites in the game. Not sure why the fire is there, it's a bit of an overkill, but if you ask me, but this is a really good melee weapon, plus you can hold it up like this, and it basically makes you invulnerable for a little bit of time. Anyway, part of this game is not only traversing through the levels, which could technically be done without using powers or destroying enemies at all, but I don't want to do that. That's just not in the spirit of things, now is it? Anyway, the other part of the level, or not the level, but the game rather, is collecting the crystal shards, which, as we saw in the opening cutscene, broke apart. Now, in some of these levels, there are going to be mini-bosses. Just go ahead and destroy them with or without a power-up. There's always a way to defeat them, so don't worry if you don't have a power-up on you. But anyway, yeah. Crystal Shards, we're going to be looking for them in order to 100% the game. They're not required to complete it. They are required to get a little bit of extra stuff at the end. I wouldn't call it extra, because it is actually like the real ending of the game, but I'm not going to spoil any of that right now. There are some... But yeah, to get that, we have to find all the crystal shards, which I will be doing in this playthrough, of course. But yeah, there are some enemies, such as these ones here. Let me go ahead and throw this power away. And they don't give you powers when you eat them, see? However, if you hold them above your head, well, not with this guy in particular, but sometimes they give you powers, and it's all fine and dandy like that as well. And let's go ahead and suck up this bomb guy, because he gives an awesome power, which is blowing everything the hell up. Ha! That's my favorite thing to do. Ever! Some of the crystal shards will be hidden under platforms or, like, behind things of a certain color. It's not always of a certain color, but it's, like, objects that look like they could be interacted with. Oops, I want to get double bomb here. Such as that one right there. Since it was black, it required bomb. Sometimes they won't be color-coded, and that can be a little bit confusing, but overall, the crystal shards are easy to collect. Anyway, let's get the double bomb power and go over here. Aw, it's so terrible to see such a cute creature transformed into such a terrible, terrible beast. Although its body is still kind of cute, especially when it cries like that. Anyway, the way to beat this boss without a power is when it runs into the walls there, it will get dizzy and it'll shoot out those stars. But since I have a power here, actually no, I'll show at least one time how to beat it without a power-up, but there you go. That's how you do damage to it. And we get the third and final crystal shard of this level from it. And yeah, Waddle Dee was transformed into Waddle Doo and then back again, which was not good. So of course this dark matter is up to no good, making trouble in the neighborhood. Points if you get the reference. Anyway, this is the bonus stage after every level in Kirby 64. You have a chance to get 1-ups and food and stuff like that. Anyway, let's move on to level 2. Welcome to the forest. Hopefully there are no sleeping bears around here. Ah, Kirby, run! Actually, don't run from bears. Friendly little tip from Third Mario Brother, the channel. Anyway, let's go ahead and combine Bomb and Cutter. Yes, I will be trying to show off all of the power-ups in this playthrough, but this is definitely one of my top 3 in the game, I think. Ninja Star, isn't that just awesome? Kirby, this little pink marshmallow was turned into a deadly ninja with exploding shurikens. How often do you see those outside of Naruto? Now, one of the disadvantages to this power-up is you can't see the shurikens going through the air, but it's still super overpowered. Not that many powers in this game aren't. That's a Maxim Tomato. It refills your health all the way, by the way. This game is fairly easily... What? This game is fairly easily... Say the same thing twice, why don't ya? This game is fairly easy, designed for children, of course, and as it is a Kirby game. And, overall, though, it's really fun, and it's really fun to play with all the power-ups. There's a lot of them, since there's all these different combinations and stuff, so... Overall, it's still an enjoyable game, regardless of your age. Like a lot of Nintendo games. They're all classics. Anyway, this here is Rock, which makes us invincible. When I was young playing this, a kid, I guess, I always thought that the Rock power-ups were like the best because you could just walk through the entire level and not even have to worry about anything besides bottomless pits and getting crushed, but you know. Anyway, if you combine Rock and Needle, we get something interesting. A drill, which can actually... This is the fastest mode of travel in the game, right here. If you hold down the attack button while you're doing that, you just go forward, and when you let it go, you release the drill, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's get rid of this, because there are some other interesting power-ups around here, such as Spark. This guy gives us Spark, which makes you invincible. When you're not moving, the field of, well, the radius of attack, I guess, is larger. When you're moving, it's smaller. Overall, single Spark isn't all that good. But double Spark has a very, very large radius of attack, so it can be very good. And here we turn into a light bulb. This is one of the lamer power-ups in the game. It's not very, it's not very useful in a practical way. It's used to get a secret later in the game, which I'll explain when we get to it, but it's not very deadly, which I guess is the point of the power-ups. Anyway, here, Waddle Dee, our newfound friend, who has joined us in our adventure for some reason. I guess we saved his life. That could be part of it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, he has decided to help us get over this impasse that we wouldn't be able to traverse otherwise. Anyway, keep an eye out here, because down there on the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a row of these 3 star things, and there's a crystal shard beneath them. And yeah, those star things there, just in case you were wondering what they do, there's a meter beneath your health meter, which looks like eggs for some peculiar reason. But there's a meter beneath that, full of, like, rectangles. And whenever you get one of these stars, you get a rectangle, and when that whole meter gets filled up, you get a 1-up. Speaking of 1-ups, there's one right there, so be sure not to fall into that hole immediately. And mini-boss time. I actually find... Well, I think that this boss would probably be easier without the light bulb power-up, so let's go ahead and just suck these guys up, and there we go. Be sure not to leave too hastily, because there is a crystal shard afterward. Be sure to grab that. I love how there's always that transformation sequence, kinda, with the, dark matter. And, aw, dang it, I don't have a power-up in this fight, which makes it so much easier. But yeah, this is Adeline. This is a character surrounded by very much, gender ambiguity, and she kind of has a scary, angry face right now, but... Very easy boss, just kinda tedious, and it takes a really long time, especially if you don't have a power-up. You can generally suck up almost all of her creations. Oh, look at this. Wow, that was pretty hard. Did a lot of damage to me there, Adeline. The more of her creations you destroy, the more angry she gets, which is kind of funny to look at. And here is an enemy that is from past Kirby games, kind of an interesting throwback here. Just wait for it to spit these ice things and shoot them back at it. Sometimes it'll do a jumping attack, I believe. I haven't fought this boss in a while, so I wouldn't know exactly, but... Also another easy one. Come on, Adeline. You got anything better than that? Oh, apparently you do. This was actually a boss in one of the Kirby games. I believe it was Dreamland 3. I could be wrong there. But, yeah, this is another cool throwback that I thought was a great inclusion in this boss fight. Throwbacks, throwbacks everywhere. Throwbacks, throwbacks in my hair. I'm the next Dr. Seuss. Yeah, another easy enemy, though. Just spit its creations back at it. Spit the creations of a creation, and slide into Adeline there. Alternatively, you could take the funny path and just let her run directly into you, and she'll just knock herself out. Alright, well, I think that's going to be about it for the first episode of Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I know this is a bit of a short video, since this game is a little bit longer than some of the other ones I've been doing lately. But you know what, I want to leave a little bit for the next video. This is the bonus stage, like I was trying to explain earlier. There are some stars that you can get, I already explained their function. There's that Maxim Tomato, a piece of food, a 1-up, and then there's that card with a question mark on it. You can collect those in their enemy bios, which you can view from the menu at the start of the game. I will be showing these off, hopefully, in an extra video, but I will not be collecting all of them during this playthrough because I have other methods of getting them, and I don't want to sit here tediously and collect them all because it can be very difficult. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode of Kirby 64. I hope you all enjoyed this blast from the past, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!